Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another great edition of my Grue Rume Show. And for the Grue Rume Show today, I got a very awesome guest, and she's an actress. She stars in Terrifier 3, which is the highest grossing unrated horror film of all time. It was the number one movie in America. It's just amazing. I'm really happy to see horror finally getting its due, and she's one of the reasons for Terrifier 3 being so good and going over so well. Her name is Margaret Anne Florence. I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters. I am the host of the Grue Rume Show. And my interview will be coming up very soon. This is my Grue Rume, and as always, welcome to my nightmare. All right. Welcome to Grue, and thank you so much for being a guest today and coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much. You know, I love how everything looks over there. Like you got music over there, and you got the couch with the music. Yeah, it looks great. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, this is my office slash music room slash chill out lounge. So it's fun.
Nice, nice. So the first question I want to start out with, like, I see you act and you also sing, and what drew you to both of them, and which one came first?
Well, I started out really performing as a kid, not professionally, but with different groups around town growing up. So I really started in like musical theater and
Hmm.
singing, and then actually went to college and studied classical voice, which I don't know, I didn't really expect to do that, but it really set up a foundation for everything else, which was great. So, and then I went to grad school at New York University after that, and I have a
Wow.
master's in musical theater performance.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, but then I was auditioning and really started to get more into film and TV. So that's really like my main focus now. I do still sing,
Yeah.
but mainly doing film and TV.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
When you were doing plays, like, is there a certain play you had the most fun doing?
Well, I was in a show called The Fantastics off Broadway,
Oh
which
wow.
was it's a very old musical, but it's a very like charming, sweet play, and so musical. But I had a great time doing that, and a really sweet cast, and that was a lot of fun. So just being able to perform live like that is always great, and it's new and fun every night, and something crazy always happens that you don't expect, and the cast is laughing about it backstage, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, because that's like a big difference, like going from there to film, because like when you're on stage, you you only get like one take. Like if you mess up that, you have to just go on with the next scene, right?
Yes, yes, that's pretty much it. I mean, luckily, knock on wood, I had nothing really traumatic ever happen as far as like forgetting a line or forgetting where you were or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, that is sort of some of the excitement of it. But also, theater has a lot different preparation really than well, I shouldn't say different, but it just sometimes more of a time period, of rehearsal time period. So you have a lot
Okay.
to kind of work out what you're doing, and also it becomes sort of part of your muscle memory, whereas in film and TV usually you might get some rehearsal time, but generally it's just like on the day that you're
Yeah.
shooting, and you're running lines with your scene partner in the makeup chair, and you're like trying to just work it out really quick, like before you get on set. And then obviously you have the director and everybody's input that way, but it's just a little bit of a different process and a different preparation, but I find both to be fun, and I don't really prefer one over the other.
Okay. And I see you like sports too, and you actually did a lot of sports. And do you still play sports yet?
I do. I mean, I'm not like on a team right now, but I do. I mean, I love to work out. I run. like 6 miles 3 days a week, and I lift
Wow.
weights and do a lot of workouts that way. And then I have two kids now who are starting to get older and into sports. So, I'm in the driveway shooting basketball and um, doing those sorts of things, which is a lot of fun. My son was saying the other day, he was like, "Mom, you should like be on a team. Like you should still be on a
Yeah.
team." And I'm like, "Well, I mean, I guess I could do like the rec adult basketball or something. I don't know." I don't know. But that was a huge part of my growing up. And even in some way I feel like ties into acting and performing. I mean, it's all a team sport, right? Whether
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
on a sports team or whether you're in a team of actors and a team of a film, you're working with everybody. So I think I always have, enjoyed that kind of interaction and like making something together. So my mom says I like participation. So I like people to do things with me. So that all kind of intertwines. But yeah, I love sports. I love to watch sports. I uh, I just think it's great. I love being competitive. I'm super competitive. So don't want to lose at whatever I'm playing, but also a good sport, also a good sport. But yeah, so yeah, I do like sports. I think, you got to stay active like in your whole
Oh,
life,
of
what
course.
you're doing. I want to be the like 90-year-old lady that's like power walking down the road or whatever. Like that's my goal. Just keep moving, really. Keep moving.
Exactly. Okay, so I have to ask you, who are some of your sports teams? Like, who were some of the teams that you like?
Oh my gosh. Well, see, growing up, it was like I was in the big like Michael Jordan,
Oh
Bulls,
yeah,
Lakers, like
yeah.
that was, a big part of my childhood. Or like, football is like the 49ers. It was like Joe Montana. My dad was all,
Nice, nice.
into those things. So that was kind of, I feel like it was like a exciting time in sports when I grew up. So I was into all that. And then I went, to a college called the College of Charleston, which we just had a basketball team, but it was a really good team and we had a great coach and we made it to the NCAA championship,
Oh
we'll
my God.
a few times now. So not the championship, but the tournament. But so I just love to watch like college
Yeah.
sports, things like that. And um, yeah, so
Oh wow, that's awesome. Nice. And when you got involved with film and television, what was like the first role you ever had?
oh my gosh, what was the first thing I did? Well, I did some like commercial stuff. Like I
Mhm.
did, I think literally the first commercial thing I booked after like auditioning for a bunch of commercial, it was just like what they call an industrial. So it's just like something that's circulated within the company, but it was for like Tropicana orange juice or something. And I thought it was like,
Nice.
I was like, this is amazing, like my first job. But a first bigger job really that I somehow got was this movie, My Super Ex-Girlfriend with Uma Thurman and
Oh
Luke
yeah, yeah.
Rainn Wilson, which I mean I had done some things before that, but that was sort of like I think I just didn't really realize at the time like oh my gosh, like this is a big movie. I'm on set and like Ivan Reitman's directing and he's like, so the cast is gonna eat dinner next door if you want to come. I'm like at the dinner table with, Luke Wilson and Ivan Reitman, and I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, shouldn't I just be at craft service like with everybody else? I think. But that was a great experience and like, talking about like a little fish in a big pond. But it did really teach me a lot. And I mean, everybody on that set was, of course, very, very nice. And working with Rainn Wilson was amazing because I mean, he's a really sweet guy. Like
Yeah.
not really Dwight in real life. So he's not Dwight Schrute all the time. So, but that was really fun. And I mean, it was just like a big job to have, I was excited about it. And I guess I really didn't realize when I booked it, like, oh, wow, like these are big movie stars and a big set, like a huge production. And so that was really cool.
That's awesome. And now you're part of it 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 was on opening weekend the number one movie in America, the highest grossing unrated horror film. it's amazing what Terrifier 3 is doing. And how do you feel about like the milestones that Terrifier 3 is breaking?
I mean, I cannot believe it. Like, I mean, I'm super happy for everybody and thrilled for, Damien, the writer, director, and um I just thought, when I signed on to this was like, it's like a cult kind of following of
Yeah,
these
exactly.
movies. And I just thought maybe like I knew the budgets had increased for each film, and I knew that this
Hmm.
film they were putting a lot more into the production value. And so I anticipated that it was obviously going to hopefully be even do better than the movie before. And then I knew that fans, of course, wanted to see the continuation of the story. So I thought,
Yeah.
well, sure, at least like these people are going to continue to watch this series and be excited about it. But I mean, if you had told me the whole country was going to be watching this movie, I'm like, are you crazy? And then I have people like that, that have seen my work, but like, especially like friends of like my parents, and they're like, yeah, I want to go see it. And I'm like, I don't think you should. I'm like, this is not a good idea for you. Like, do you know what this is about? But it's really sweet to have all that support. But it's amazing, how many people are like tuned into this film and like have heard about it at least. And but the fact that it's like breaking all these box office records is bananas. And I'm just like happy to be a part of it, and really thrilled for everybody involved. And I mean, it couldn't be like a better group of people, and all the crew and the cast. And I mean, it's really exciting. And it's basically an independent,
Well,
film
yeah, exactly.
that Damien made, the way he wanted to make it. And so that's also a great story for just, that a studio doesn't have to tell you what to do to make
Mhm.
your movie a success, or for people to want to see it or love it. So it's pretty shocking, but very very exciting.
And to get a feel of what the movie is, did you go back and watch like the first two to know like what the story was going to be for Terrifier 3?
Well, I did, like I said, I didn't know anything about it. I must confess, as I've said in other interviews, I am not a horror fan. I'm pretty
Okay.
afraid of scary movies. So I did do just some online research of like, the plot and think whatever happened and characters and everything. But also, because my character wasn't mentioned or in the previous
Yeah,
films, I also sort of took that as like, well, my character only knows as much as she knows coming into the situation, and as
yeah.
much as Sienna has told her or not about the things that have happened to her, which I think is not a lot. I know Sienna's got her been through a trauma, and I think I'm just more there to support her, but not really to
Mhm.
pry into what she's going through. So I sort of took those things into account for my character, but also even at the premiere, I really had my eyes like closed. Would watch the acting parts, and then I would, as soon as I heard like blood and things happening, I would just eyes again.
Well, well, you must have not watched any of the movie because it's like
Well,
it's like
I knew the
a
script,
gore
so like
fest.
I knew what was coming up. I was like, okay, I know what's gonna happen now. So I like would check in like a little bit, like, okay, no, I don't want to see that. I knew what the parts, but I didn't want to watch the full, like, oh God, like it's a lot. It's a lot.
It
Have you
is.
seen it?
Oh yeah, I seen it. I seen it. I seen it the opening night because I'm
Okay.
I'm a big fan of the first two films, and I David does such an amazing job as art, and
Yeah.
I had to see the third one, and it was very gross, but it was good. It was like I I was a fan of the movie.
That's good. I feel like you're in like one camp or the other. It's like your favorite thing, or you're like, oh no, I cannot go. And so many friends are so supportive, and they're trying to be so
Yeah.
sweet. They're like, I don't think I can go see it, but I'm really happy for you. I'm like, it's okay. It's like, it's okay. Like, you can stream it later, and you can just fast forward through if you want to see my parts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot for anybody, even for the fans. People come up and they're like, I could handle everything, but some of the things were
I know.
too much.
Like there's when I was watching Terrifier 3, like I'm like, am I supposed to be watching this? Like, especially the o opening scene of the movie, and the shower scene was brutal too, and you're just watching saying, am I, should I turn away? Like, are people gonna think like I'm nuts, like sitting there and watching it when everyone's like hiding their eyes?
I know that people are like, I don't feel like I should be laughing in some of this, but I am laughing and I feel bad about that. I'm like, I know. I like, but that's I think why people love these movies is because you
Yeah,
are laughing. I mean, some of the stuff that Art is doing, especially, is so funny in this scenario that he's in. And so you are laughing. But I think that's what pulls people into the movie and like it makes you want to see it because it's not all, it's not like just complete evil the whole time. Like
yeah,
there's things interspersed that are like make you like, what's going to happen next? So it's a little bit unpredictable in that way, which I think that's, what's fun about it.
yeah. It's a good wholesome Christmas movie, right?
I finally got into a Christmas movie. I was like, this is my life's goal. And now this is the one that I'm in. A Christmas movie that's highly inappropriate. I'm in one now. So forever. I
Yeah,
have my own holiday. It's not a Hallmark movie, but it's even more exciting.
yeah. It's close enough to the regular Christmas films, yeah. And like a lot of your scenes are working with Lauren, and of course she's a big part of the Terrifier films now, from the second one to the third one and going on to the fourth one. Like she's definitely a big part. Like her and Art have like a connection to one another, but are rivals. And what was it like working with Lauren and sharing scenes with her?
Lauren is great. We had a great time together. I mean, the whole cast, we really just kind of, you sort of become like a really quick instant family when you're on set like that. And it was great. Lauren and also Antonella that plays my daughter Gabby
Yes.
and kind of, the three of us, and Bryce, who plays my husband, we all sort of made a little bond there together. But I mean, Lawrence, she's awesome. She's super hardworking and she's always, ready for every scene and she's gonna give it her 100%. I mean, there's lots of scenes in the movie when she's really getting beat up and she's
Yeah.
like, I mean, she was doing it, she was throwing herself around and I mean, working as hard as she could. So that's, exhausting in and of itself. But she's just like a really supportive, like team player and scene partner. And so it's really nice to have that, when you're
Yeah,
working.
definitely.
Yeah.
And for death scenes in Terrifier 3, I'm gonna say a spoiler, but I think at this time everyone has seen the movie. Your Jessica's death scene. Oh my God! Like I'm definitely afraid of like mice and rats. I yeah. When that scene, oh my God! Like that scene, the rats going down Aunt Jess's throat, slicing the throat, coming out of it was brutal. How was that scene filmed? Like how? What? Tell me how the Aunt Jess death scene.
Well, all I can say is thank God that they made this mannequin of me and that I really did not have to do heavy lifting beyond, really to the point where they're about to put the tube in my mouth.
Yeah.
Um, After that, it's all the mannequin. So
Oh, okay, good, good.
thank God. Because people have been asking me, they're like, did they put a lot of like prosthetics on you and stuff? And I was like, thank God. But they sent me out to LA to get like all the digital images done of me so they could
Mhm.
make this mannequin, look like me. So, I mean, obviously I had to do all the emotional part leading up to
Yeah,
that. But I luckily did not have to endure any real grossness, thank God. And I
good.
have it bothers a lot of people. I think, some people say like because they also like feel bad for my character, whereas a lot of
Mhm.
the other characters are like, well, if they get killed, like whatever, you're not
Well,
attached
yeah,
to them.
exactly.
Right, but they feel bad for me, so I think that bothers people. And then I think it's something about, well, yes, rats and mice, people have problems with that. But then
Oh
I think
yeah.
it's something about the idea of like not being able to breathe or choking or swallowing something that I think really bothers people. And they're like, I couldn't, they're like, I had to look away, or they're like, I felt sick, or like that's the part that like really gets people. But again,
Yeah, definitely.
I
Uh,
feel like I didn't even watch my mannequin on the
oh
set.
no.
Like, the mannequin was like there, and I would like walk past it like that. Like they would turn the monitors away from me so I didn't see it. Because you've
Yeah.
got people on set that are like manhandling your mannequin. They're like trying to set up for the shot, and they're like doing all these things to your face, and you're like, oh my God, no, like I don't want to look at that. So pretty disturbing.
It is. It is. I'm not gonna lie. It definitely is.
So I'm gonna thank Damien that I did not have to endure any actual trauma to myself other than the emotional stress leading up to it. But thank God for that mannequin. This is my saving.
Exactly. And like Aunt Jessica's has like one of the coolest lines when she tells Lauren, go kill those. Yeah.
Yeah, so she just make them suffer, kill them both, make them suffer. That's what she says. But yeah,
Yes.
I started signing that on people would ask me for like a quote from the film, and I started signing that on people's pictures because I'm like, I think that's my line, right? That's my most
That
memorable.
that is your line. Like that's a great line, and then that sends her off to do what she needs to do to get the job done.
She tries. Crazy. See what happens. We'll see
I
what happens
know, right?
going forward. Mm.
And I've seen like David at like different horror cons, and he's like a super sweet, like super nice guy. But like when he has the art stuff on,
Mhm.
does he ever like scare you on set? Like does when he gets in character and he's Art the Clown instead of David?
Yeah. No, he doesn't. I never saw him uh just in his normal self because he
Oh,
he and Sam, who plays Victoria, they would because they had to get in makeup, they would always get to set a lot earlier than us. So by the time I showed up, they were always in costume. So I never saw David with his like normal face ever. So we were always just like doo doo doo, like chatting. He's got his mask and everything on. So no, but he's like totally the sweetest, like most mild-mannered, nice guy. And we would just talk and hang out like normal. I mean, it is slightly off-putting at first, but then you forget about it. Like, but I know, yeah. No, but no, nobody is like going method and like staying in character the whole.
okay.
So we're fine. We have to still be normal people. It's okay. It's okay.
Because I heard like the other killer clown Pennywise, Stephen King's they said when Bill Skarsgård was playing the clown, as soon as Bill had the makeup on, like he stood in character, and the kids that were on set were like terrified of him.
I think there's different approaches. Lots of actors got to stay in it the whole time, and some don't. It's true. It's your choice. And whatever like keeps you in the zone of where you need to be. I think if you can bring yourself in and out of it, it's just easier on your body and on
Yeah, yeah.
the people you're working with. But if you want to stay in your zone, then you got to respect that too and give people their space and let them act how they want to act. Because as long as you're getting your performance, then that's what you're there for. So
Hey, yeah. I I mean that would be cool to see like a little crossover there, like Pennywise versus Art. Like I think that would be like a good fight.
there's lots of clown rivalries and things going. The fact that we beat the Joker, it's like a big deal.
Well, yeah, yeah. You can even throw him in it, and Art
beat him out as the #1 movie in America, which is awesome.
Pretty hard to believe. I know. It's gonna be Clown Showdown. There's gonna be some giant clown movie that comes out in like 5 years. That's like all
I know, right? Exactly.
Let's bring them all together.
And now I know you say you close your eyes a lot in like the bad scene. Do you think like what do you think is like the most gruesome death scene, the most gruesome kill of Terrifier 3?
Well, from what I understand and from what I'm glimpsed and imagined, I think it's the shower scene with the
Yeah.
chainsaw in the shower. Those are the two I got. Mine and the chainsaw in the shower with it's like
I know, it's crazy.
Mason McCarty, who
Yeah.
is in that scene. You know, he and I went to this convention last weekend in Manchester, England, and like we're sitting by each other, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, people that would come up to be like, your death and his death, or like the worst deaths. I'm like,
They are though.
they're brutal. They're pretty brutal. You know, it's gross, but they're all bad. They're all really bad.
What's there? What did you like doing on set between takes? Like, did you have anything you like doing between takes?
Well, I mean, it's always nice if the scene is not too heavy, if you can just kind of, you know, hang out and joke around a little bit. You know, but you're trying to keep yourself going, you're trying to eat snacks, and you're trying to like just prep for the next thing, or you're running lines with people, you know, reviewing the scene again, and just kind of analyzing whatever you're going to do in the next setup, or however they're, you know, what they're shooting. And so, you know, it's a mix of like hang out, try to like relax a tiny bit, but you know, these movies, when you're shooting on a tight schedule, you know, on a budget, like you're trying to go as fast as you can.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The downtime is not always there, you know. So you have some, but it's a lot of go. So we're like getting ready for the next scene, or like what are we shooting after this scene? So then you're thinking about that's coming up. So so it's kind of continuous, but really just like you're talking to your castmates and about whatever, and you know, hanging out with people. So that's nice. That's the fun part.
And a show I had no idea you were part of is Guiding Light. Like the reason I know the show is because when I was younger, me and my mom would actually watch it because I used to love Reva Shane.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, you're right. That is probably one of my first jobs ever, was you know, I had a couple parts on Guiding Light, but you know, because sometimes they bring people back in various different characters, but I was just like a waitress in like whatever cafe they had, and like, but they wanted me to like carry a tray of something, and I just remember being like la 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 la, la like shaking, like oh my God, don't spill it, don't spill it, don't spill it. Like that was so stressful. And to talk about fast, like soap operas are like, whoa, like they are not wasting time. They are so fast. Yeah, it's like one take and they're moving on to the next thing, and you've got to pay attention or you're gonna get left in the dust there. But
oh my God.
I did do that on Guiding Light, and then I played this woman Marlene, and she worked at the nail salon, and it was very funny. I had like a couple funny appearances on there, and like a tiny little romance with one other character. It was very funny. But
oh wow, okay.
Yeah, but soap operas are wild. Yes.
Yeah, they seem it.
It is. It's a hard job, a very hard job. Those actors are like memorizing pages and pages and pages of lines for a day.
Wow.
So it's not easy at all.
Oh yeah. Damn. Okay.
Mm-hmm. See, a lot of work for those people.
When you aren't doing film and television, what do you like doing during your free time?
Well, like I said, I do like to exercise, and you know, I like to cook. I like to eat and exercise. So those two things go together. So I love to cook, and I like to have like friends over to entertain, and then
Oh, nice.
2 kids, so I'm very busy with them and doing all those fun things. And I just like to spend time with family, mainly be like outside. Like I'm a beach person, so if you need me,
Oh,
like
all right.
beach, like that's where I want to be. So if I can just be outside, be on the beach, eating, exercising, cooking. Those are the things. Those are the things I enjoy doing.
Do you want to cook on the beach too?
I could, yeah, you could like do a bonfire and like roast a pig or something. I know. You could barbecue. That's exactly right.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Just yeah, I like being outside really and singing music,
Of
stuff like
course.
yeah, seeing shows, those kind of things. hmm hmm
And for for cooking, like, do you have a dish that you're known for? Like, do you have a dish you love cooking the most?
Well, let's see. I do I make a really good roast actually.
Oh, nice.
Old-fashioned kind of like hot roast in the oven with like carrots and onion and stuff.
Nice,
Really
nice.
good. And I'm Greek, so I make a Greek salad, you gotta people think that's such a mystery. They're always like, "How, what did you put on this?" I'm like, "It's just oil and vinegar." Like, I don't know. But somehow, which is very funny though, because if you eat another Greek woman's Greek salad, it tastes different than yours, even though you're both just using the same ingredients. But it's
Yeah.
very funny though. Every person, like, I don't know what you do to it, but it makes it your own. So people think that's amazing when they come eat it, which is fine.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
pretty funny, but I also like to bake. I do make some pretty good cakes, and I make something called a hummingbird cake, which is kind of a southern cake, but it's got like pineapple and
Ooh.
nuts in it. It's very good, like a cream cheese frosting. It's delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but I do like to. During the week I do cook pretty much every night, and like just keep it pretty simple. Like we'll grill steak or like a baked potato. The basic things, but healthy things, vegetables.
Yeah,
Kale,
yeah.
like that. Yeah, but no, I'll make like a prime rib. I'm into like I like beef, so so I cook a lot of beef.
I love beef too, so I'm in the same
How
boat.
could you,
Like,
how could you not? I know, but yeah, it's good. So I like having friends over, and it's nice. It's nice to bring people together like that. But people seem to think it's such a wonder that I like cook and entertain. I'm like, I don't know. Like, isn't that what people do?
yeah,
But
right. I mean, if I could, like, I would eat in a steakhouse every single night, and I love a medium well steak. Like, it has to have like a little blood, because I can't eat it like completely well done, because the taste is too dry. So I do medium well.
yeah, I get like a medium rare, medium rare.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yes. Gotta have the flavor in there. You don't want to
Oh
dry.
yeah, of course.
Exactly. But yeah, you're right. Steakhouse. That's where that would be my like last meal would be like a prime rib with a baked potato and a salad with Thousand Island dressing. That's what I want. Or a blue cheese wedge, right?
Ooh, okay. Okay. All right. I like that. I like that.
Yes.
And for being someone who sings and does music, do you have a playlist that you love listening to? Like, who are some of the people you like?
Well, when I'm really like the playlist I have is like my running playlist, which I put a lot of like, kind of amped up music on there. But, I like Queen and I like Panic at the Disco and I like Lizzo and God, who else is on there? There's some like Kiss on there and like AC/DC. I don't know,
Oh,
like a real
nice.
variety of things, but like pumped up tunes
Nice.
for like running and stuff. But I really like kind of all variety of music and I don't know. I just try to like get whatever's new on iTunes and sort of like listen through. And then, my kids like to like yell out to Siri to play songs all the time. So I'm really just at their mercy of like whatever range from like I said, we might listen to Queen or like Journey or we might listen to like fart noises. Like I just don't know. It's like it's a real spectrum of music.
Oh yeah, it sounds it.
That's where we are. That's where we are.
So what do you think would be your go-to karaoke song if you were doing it?
Oh, well, I used to sing I Will Survive, Gloria
Oh
Gaynor.
my God,
I used to sing
yeah.
that all the time in like college. Like people, like we'd have like a band at a party in college and they would like ask the band to play it. So I would sing with them and stuff. It was pretty funny. So yeah, I haven't karaokeed in quite a while though. But yeah, that's usually like a go-to, something about people like it. It's easy to sing. I don't know. It's fun.
Oh yeah, and everyone knows the words to that. So as soon as that you start singing it, you have everyone singing along with it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
And is there anything coming up for you that you would like to plug? I mean, we all know you got one of the biggest films in America right now, Terrifier 3. Is there anything else you're working on that you would like to mention?
Yes, well, I mean, auditioning for new projects and hopefully there's going to be some new stuff coming soon, but I'm nothing I can report at the moment,
Well,
but
yeah,
I will keep you posted, but I'm just excited to be like riding this wave of Terrifier 3 and enjoying that and it's been great. So I'm really excited.
yeah, definitely. And the last thing I'll ask you is where could fans follow you at?
They can follow me on Instagram, my whole name, so at Margaret Anne Florence. It's Anne with an E. So yeah, follow me there and same Facebook, Margaret Anne Florence. You can find me there. But yeah, so I'm trying to keep up with everybody on Instagram and let them know everything that's going on. So catch me there and I'll be at some conventions coming up in Ontario, California in January and then in Chicago in August and I think Cincinnati in March maybe. So I'll post some of that. I also have a website, margaretanneflorence.com. So you can also go there and see if there's, news and updates and find me that way too.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking time and coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It was great talking to you.
Yeah, it was really nice meeting you. Thank you.
Thanks, Rocco.
Bye.
Bye.
Uh,